They are about to ruin the very soul of Naruto. That's the unsettling cry echoing through online forums and social media posts as die-hard fans confront a new wave of tension surrounding the beloved franchise. For years, the idea of a true Hollywood live-action Naruto film hovered between rumor and fervent wishful thinking. Now, finally, it seems the big-screen adaptation is on track to become a reality. But there's a catch that feels more controversial than any budget dispute or casting rumor: the looming specter of artificial intelligence. Today we're diving headfirst into the backstory, the controversies, and the looming threat that could upend everything the ninja fans hold dear. So, what's really going on behind the scenes of this ambitious Hollywood adaptation? And how, in the name of hidden villages, does artificial intelligence slip into the conversation? In this in-depth exploration, we'll tackle all the swirling questions. Will we see cherished characters digitally generated instead of portrayed by living, breathing actors? Will we lose that distinct emotional nuance that made Naruto such a worldwide phenomenon? And crucially, can the newly onboarded creative team, led by director Destin Daniel Cretton, avoid the pitfalls that have plagued other anime-inspired films in the West? In this special look, we'll uncover the key decisions shaping the cinematic future of Naruto, examine why top executives have turned to AI at this pivotal juncture, and analyze the potential repercussions for fans who have grown up idolizing Team 7. We'll talk about the earthquake caused by previous adaptations like Dragon Ball Evolution, why Netflix's One Piece stands as a glimmer of hope, and whether Hollywood's approach to anime storytelling can truly satisfy a fandom suspicious of artificial tampering. By the end of this deep dive, you'll see how the Naruto live-action project has become a battleground of creativity, technology, and human emotion, and why it's testing the patience and optimism of loyal viewers everywhere. For many devoted fans, the end of the original Naruto series was a bittersweet moment, one that left behind a mixture of triumph, reflection, and deep nostalgia. Enter Boruto, the direct continuation that spilled out new characters, more advanced jutsu, and a fleeting sense of continuity, yet somehow couldn't replicate the emotional resonance of Naruto's earliest arcs. As fans repeatedly pored over the final chapters of the manga and rewatched iconic episodes, the dream of a live-action adaptation stayed alive. They fantasized about real martial artists pulling off those mesmerizing choreographies, about the swirling orbs of chakra rendered against the night sky in perfect cinematic clarity. But while casting and budgetary concerns once dominated the conversation, the last thing anyone expected to see was an AI invasion that could overshadow the entire production. And that's precisely what has jolted many Naruto loyalists into an anxious uproar. Lionsgate, the studio behind this upcoming venture, has teamed up with Runway, an AI startup, with plans to enhance the filmmaking process through cutting-edge technology. Though AI has already made several inroads into modern cinematic production, from large-scale special effects to digital enhancements, the mention of augmentation in connection with Naruto has set off alarm bells from every corner of the fanbase. Yet one promising development offered a bright spot amid these swirling uncertainties: the appointment of Destin Daniel Cretton as the director. His name carries weight thanks to his work on blockbusters that combine dynamic action sequences with deep emotional undercurrents. And if Naruto is anything, it's a story that thrives on emotional resonance. When you consider battles like Naruto vs. Sasuke at the Valley of the End, or the tear-jerking moments around Jiraiya and Pain, it's clear that the saga can't simply be an action spectacle. It needs to preserve the poignancy, the anguish, and that unwavering determination that gave fans goosebumps time and again. Masashi Kishimoto, Naruto's legendary creator, even issued a personal statement soon after Destin's involvement was announced, expressing his enthusiasm for the director's skill at weaving together human drama and bracing action. Although Kishimoto's blessing alleviated some anxieties, fan skepticism quickly returned once Lionsgate confirmed its partnership with an AI-focused firm. Now, rumors swirl that scenes or possibly entire characters could be influenced by advanced generative technology. While the details remain vague, the potential ramifications loom large in the minds of fans who have grown to treasure the series' raw humanity. Think about what makes Naruto stand out in the vast sea of anime. It's the heartbreak that underlies Naruto Uzumaki's isolation, the fervent rivalry with Sasuke, the fatherly presence of Kakashi, the unwavering loyalty of Sakura, and countless arcs that revolve around redemption, perseverance, and forging one's own destiny. These themes hinge on human subtlety. One misstep in capturing the essence of heartbreak or triumph could leave crucial scenes feeling hollow. Anime enthusiasts argue that while AI might be useful for optimizing certain technical aspects, like pre-visualized sets, digital stand-ins for complicated stunts, or minor animation flourishes, it lacks the capacity to convey the nuanced intensity that lifts Naruto from entertaining to profoundly moving. But big studios are enthralled by the myriad possibilities AI offers. Especially in a market that demands more streamlined production approaches, AI tools promise faster turnaround, more elaborate effects, and cost containment. Beyond that, AI can perhaps unscramble the labyrinth of scheduling challenges faced by large productions, a tempting lure for studios eager to meet a theatrical release date. Yet the notion of an AI meddling with voice lines, or altering performances in post-production to fine-tune scenes, causes an outbreak of alarm. Indeed, fans who recall the fiasco of Dragon Ball Evolution fear that any tinkering with the essence of their beloved franchise could produce a similarly soulless adaptation. This leads to one of the central tensions. Naruto is a story built on deeply human connections. Its cast yearns for validation, builds powerful bonds through unbreakable loyalty, and deals with universal themes like loneliness, friendship, and the weighty nature of destiny. The worry is that an algorithm lacking true empathy cannot replicate these deeply personal experiences, or, worse yet, might trivialize them into formulaic plot beats. That is precisely the nightmare scenario for those who have read and watched Naruto from the moment he first scribbled graffiti on the Hokage monument to his triumphant walk into the Great Ninja War. Before we plunge deeper into this debate over technology versus artistry, let me take a minute for a quick call to action. If you're as captivated by the complex emotions behind Naruto's legendary storyline as I am, why not show your support? Give a like or comment to let everyone know that you'll keep championing heartfelt storytelling, even amid the rising tide of artificial tinkering. Your voice might just ignite a broader conversation about how we preserve authenticity in these beloved fictional worlds. Beyond the question of emotional authenticity lies the intricate tangle of legalities and moral quandaries. The use of AI in big league productions sets off alarm bells in the worlds of copyright and intellectual property. Some fear that relying on generative algorithms to design new characters or create partial story arcs could end up skirt the boundaries of what's considered original work. If the AI is trained on existing Naruto materials, or even on the broader anime ecosystem, at what point does the generated result become an unauthorized mishmash of all that came before it? Voice acting is a further dimension of this conflict. In Japan, voice actors hold near celebrity status, having cultivated devoted followings for their deeply resonant portrayals of fan-favorite personalities. Even in the English voice acting community, certain performances have become enduring hallmarks of the Naruto experience. Are we now facing a future where software might replace the iconic voices that shaped our earliest memories of Naruto's journey? As AI-driven voice simulators gain sophistication, they can mimic voice patterns and emotional inflections with remarkable accuracy. But can they ever replicate that intangible spark, that raw ethos, that transforms a vocal performance from mere lines into a soul-stirring act? One of the more chilling aspects for many fans is the idea that AI won't just be a behind-the-scenes tool, but a creative force that shapes the entire narrative. It isn't far-fetched to imagine advanced AI systems rewriting sections of the script to align with market projections, or auto-tweaking characters' arcs to conform to trending story tropes. The notion that Naruto, a story so reliant on the personal experiences and heartfelt creativity of its original author, might be yanked out of its emotional context to fit algorithmic formulas has fans shaking their heads in dismay. However, not everyone is entirely pessimistic. Some argue that technology, if carefully harnessed, could enhance specific visual aspects of the film, generating swirling, otherworldly backgrounds or realistically animating mind-boggling jutsu sequences. The line, they say, is drawn when it threatens to overshadow or replace the human heart that beats at the center of the production. We've seen transformations across eras, from hand-drawn animation to computer-generated imagery, from practical stunts to extensive green screen usage. Each new leap has been met with both excitement and resistance. Perhaps the question is less about whether AI is inherently detrimental and more about whether studios will wield it responsibly. If you're loving this exploration, feel free to hit subscribe or follow. By doing so, you'll be the first to know about our future deep dives. We'll be bringing you coverage from every corner of the anime universe, and we're determined to keep the conversation open, honest, and entirely fan-driven. Though we are all crossing our fingers, there's still reason to reflect on Hollywood's track record. From the fiasco of Dragon Ball Evolution to lackluster attempts with Death Note, or the unremarkable approach to Ghost in the Shell, fans have learned to be wary of big studios promising the world. If certain executives decide that Naruto's heartfelt arcs are too foreign, or that his spirited persona needs to be toned down for Western tastes, we could see the storyline chipped away at its edges until it becomes a bland shadow of its original brilliance. Combine that with the lurking possibility that AI might misinterpret fan sentiment or fail to capture the ephemeral sense of Naruto's grit, and you get an unsettling brew of potential failure. That said, there is also a counterexample, Netflix's One Piece adaptation, which many fans and newcomers consider a step in the right direction. While not perfect, it showcased the possibility that a Western production can indeed pay homage to the essence of a beloved manga. Producer collaboration with Eiichiro Oda, for instance, was crucial in maintaining respect for the original while making necessary live-action adjustments. Naruto fans hope that Kishimoto's involvement might mirror the success of Oda's partnership with Netflix, ensuring that the final product maintains authenticity. But the question remains, can everything that defines Naruto, the camaraderie, the heartbreak, the gritty battles, and the comedic jabs, still shine through if AI systems step in to alter or enhance them? If the fans had one request, it would be for the live-action film to remain anchored in heartfelt drama. For instance, the scene where Naruto tries to connect with Sasuke amid the swirling confusion of rivalries and heartbreak is something that can't simply be hammered into shape by an emotionless algorithm. In fact, it requires delicate acting, perhaps under the watchful eye of a director who intimately understands the character's motivations. With Destin Daniel Cretton at the helm, people are pinning their hopes on a visionary who can marry cinematic flair with raw human stories. The overarching concept of Naruto, the will of fire, emphasizes shared determination, the influence of mentors, and the sense that one generation hands its dreams down to the next. It's an idea that resonates on a deeply human level, bridging cultural boundaries and speaking to the shared hopes and trials we all face. If technology purely assists in bringing that sense of unity to life, say through spectacular visual artistry or clearer, more seamlessly executed fight scenes, it might end up elevating the final adaptation instead of undermining it. Where the real threat lies, in the eyes of the most vocal critics, is that the corporate machine might push AI from supportive tool to leading creative force. By analyzing box office data, user engagement, and countless other metrics, the AI might churn out a formulaic approach that saps Naruto of its unique identity. If the result is a film that tries to appease the broadest possible audience by sanding away the rough edges that made Naruto so real and relatable, we might stand on the precipice of yet another forgettable anime spin-off. This dread is especially strong among watchers who still recall the stings of poorly handled attempts from the past. Interestingly, some industry insiders say that we must not demonize AI as a single monolithic threat. They argue that each cinematic production is shaped by countless hands, from concept artists to special effects technicians, scriptwriters to marketing teams. If AI is just one more voice in that intricate choir, there's no guarantee its presence will overshadow the entire creative process. The real test becomes how well the production's decision-makers juggle the script, cinematography, costume design, and the creative direction that has to come from a sensitive understanding of the narrative's profound emotional weight. Yet fans remain apprehensive. After all, the word Naruto evokes such immediate affection that many feel a protective urgency. For those who grew up with it, the series underscored themes of hope, resilience, and forging genuine connections. Even younger viewers discovering Naruto today find themselves enthralled by how intimately it captures the roller coaster of adolescence and the search for belonging. Could a high-concept, AI-heavy adaptation overshadow that deeply personal resonance? This brings us back to Boruto, Naruto's official sequel, which has captured some attention but hasn't fully quenched nostalgic cravings. Boruto introduced a new generation of ninjas, explored different angles of conflict, and strove to expand upon the Naruto universe. Yet many older fans see it as a side dish, when what they really want is a sumptuous main course celebrating the original. For them, the live-action film was set to be that heroic tribute, a chance to see Naruto's classic arcs reimagined for an entirely new era. But the creeping worry is that instead of a faithful celebration, they might end up with a compromise that feels more like an experimental laboratory test than a genuine labor of love. We must also consider all the other mainstays: Netflix, Crunchyroll, and other streaming platforms where the anime has flourished. These services have cultivated a substantial global audience that's used to scouring every detail of each episode, from the subtle tear that glimmers in a character's eye during a heartfelt confession, to the triumphant swirl of dust when a final Rasengan collides with an enemy's technique. Jumping to a slick Hollywood blockbuster can sometimes lose those small, heartfelt details that bring watchers closer to the characters. AI's involvement, if not tightly supervised, runs the risk of flattening those nuanced frames into crisp but soulless pictures. So, we stand on a crossroads. Will Lionsgate's bold new direction lead to an exhilarating retelling of Naruto's earliest arcs, complete with mesmerizing visuals and heartfelt performances? Or will the AI overshadow the natural charm that underpins the series, spawning a meltdown of disappointed fans on every social media outlet imaginable? Only time can say for sure. Even with the best of intentions, the path to a successful adaptation is littered with potential stumbling blocks, both technological and artistic. And as audiences have learned time and again, good intentions aren't always enough. Intriguingly, we can draw parallels to how the anime's original storyline treated progress and tradition. Naruto's era saw powerful ninja techniques passed down and reinterpreted by younger generations. But the underlying message was always one of maintaining the heart and soul of those traditions, never letting them become purely mechanical. Now, ironically, that lesson seems to apply to the production of the film itself. As new technological waves crash upon Hollywood's shores, can producers merge that technology with the unwavering spirit of the Hidden Leaf Village? Or will that wave wash the core message away? Company executives in suits might see AI-driven adjustments as a simple step, a piece of improvement that cuts down on production times. For fans, it feels personal, like handing Naruto's iconic headband to an algorithm that can't possibly understand the sweat, tears, and countless training sessions that made that headband more than just a piece of cloth. The personal dimension is what truly sets Naruto apart. His journey from scorned outsider to respected hero resonates because it is so deeply human, a long, difficult path to self-acceptance that no computer model could replicate on a purely emotional level. That's a vital piece of the puzzle that fans want Hollywood to grasp. It bears acknowledging that studios, faced with ballooning budgets, punishing deadlines, and a public that craves bigger and flashier spectacles, may see AI as the future. But maybe, just maybe, the future can be approached in a way that augments the creative process without robbing it of its soul. The dream scenario is one in which advanced tech is used to refine sets, perfect illusions, and orchestrate epic fights while leaving the choice emotional beats in the hands of living, breathing creators. Directors, actors, and writers who have pored over the source material, studied its complexities, and vow to do it justice. That dream scenario is what fans desperately hope for. It's crucial to emphasize that 2026 is floated by some insiders as an earliest date for the film's release, just a couple of years away. That timeline feels simultaneously so near and so far. On the one hand, fans are excited to see what the official casting announcements will look like, to discover which up-and-coming star gets to don the bright orange ensemble and proclaim the iconic catchphrase. On the other hand, it gives enough runway for the creative team, and that includes whatever AI-driven tools they deploy, to carefully refine their vision. Perhaps the most hopeful among us believe that by then, the technology and the fan enthusiasm can coexist in a mutually beneficial relationship. Just as Naruto and Kurama forged a bond through adversity and mutual respect, maybe the production crew can find synergy with AI without letting it overshadow the beating heart of the story. Still, the confusion and apprehension about AI's role in this production underscore a broader cultural debate. How do we preserve genuine artistry in an age where machines can generate entire scenes at the click of a button? Some fans are calling for a deeper public discussion about the ethics of AI in entertainment, pointing out that these are not mere abstract issues. If Naruto, an internationally revered story about resilience and empathy, becomes an AI testing ground, does that risk setting a precedent for other cherished titles? Where do we draw the line once we start altering the fundamentals of these tales? At depth, the entire Naruto saga challenges us to embrace empathy, to broaden our concepts of family, and to find the courage to keep going even when facing impossible odds. It extols the virtue of forging our future with our own hands, ninja or no ninja, and of never discarding hope in the face of adversity. Will advanced AI be the antithesis of that message, an asset that reduces genuine hurt and triumph into mere data points? Or can it be shaped into a tool that highlights those very qualities in fresh, visually captivating ways? The next few months, and the steps Lionsgate takes, will determine how the story unfolds. For instance, if early leaked details suggest heavily AI-driven dialogue or the outsourcing of character design to generative systems, we might see a fan revolt reminiscent of the backlash that sank other ill-fated projects. But if, instead, signals come down that Kishimoto's input is guiding each major decision, if we see real actors fully pouring themselves into the roles of Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi, with minimal digital tampering, the possibility of a triumphant adaptation still stands. The stakes could hardly be higher. In a sense, the entire fiasco reveals just how fiercely people are willing to defend what they love. Naruto isn't merely a cartoon or a passing fad. It's an emblem of perseverance, a comfort to those who have felt lonely or underestimated, and a narrative that has genuinely changed lives. To see it possibly diluted by automation or overshadowed by questionable production decisions would be heartbreaking. Meanwhile, success could catapult the story to new heights, introducing a younger generation to epic ninjutsu battles and timeless themes that resonate with them just as powerfully as it did with older fans. Ultimately, the debate swirling around the new Naruto film spotlights the collision of art and technology in modern cinema, casting a bright searchlight on the delicate process of adapting a deeply personal story. Much like Naruto himself, the adaptation will have to navigate treacherous terrain, forging alliances and surmounting obstacles if it hopes to stand tall among the pantheon of beloved anime-based films. The question remains, will that ultimate jutsu be driven by the unstoppable synergy of talented dreamers who revere Naruto's heritage? Or will it unravel, leaving us with a final product that high-level technology can't save from missing the emotional mark? By the time the theatrical release arrives, fans will have had ample opportunity to dissect every rumor and official teaser. The tension between an unstoppable wave of tech innovation and a wise stewardship of Naruto's spirit will only intensify. Yet at the core lies a chance for Hollywood to prove that it can handle anime's depth, that advanced digital resources can enhance a story rather than disfigure it, and that fans' devotion to Naruto might actually be rewarded with a cinematic experience worthy of the original. If the entire creative team can harness that chance effectively, we might see a cultural milestone that silences the cynics. Until we get more concrete details, all we can do is imagine the possibilities, remain vigilant about the film's creative direction, and hold out hope that the final product does justice to one of the most iconic and emotionally resonant anime journeys ever told. One thing is certain, the conversation around AI's intrusion into artistic pursuits isn't going anywhere. But if any hero has taught us the value of never giving up, it's Naruto Uzumaki. Let's believe in the possibility that dedicated directors, cast, and loyal fans can find a path that preserves the story's heart and soul. That about wraps up today's deep dive. If you've stuck with us this far, you're clearly a passionate follower of the Hidden Leaf. Here's hoping the upcoming Naruto live-action adaptation stays faithful, uplifting, and just as endearing as the original. Keep your eyes open for more updates about the production timeline and the creative decisions shaping this ambitious film. Believe it, because the will of fire might just burn brightly enough to guide us through the murky waters of AI-enhanced filmmaking.